Hello there. We are back. Look at this. Here we are. And what do you think? The place looks a bit different. I'll get out of the way. I like the vibe. I like the vibe now. So, how has everyone been? It's been a while. It's been a very busy few weeks on my end. I've been furiously writing. I've been writing the Old English textbook that I've been working on for quite some time now. But the final draft is basically put together, and we're going to be able to take on some new projects soon. He said with excessive ambition. Yes, thank you. It's a room now. It's not a white box. Um, yeah, Maj, I like the vibe. I like the orange. I don't know. It's my favorite color. Yeah, rip the white cube, but from the ashes comes the phoenix of cool cool paintings. So, goodness gracious. Yeah, yeah, it has been a while, but here we are. Let's see. How's everything going with you guys? All good? Well, I believe on the stream title today we have some more etymologies to do. Um, it is yeah, it's gonna be a chill session today. We're gonna go into Wiktionary and have some fun and see if we can learn some interesting etymologies. And I had, by the way, shout out to Chris if you're watching. He mentioned to me last time I saw him in person that he enjoyed having the etymologies on in the background. So we'll try and produce some more material. Elijah, the textbook snippets on stream. You can see. So right now there is on the Polymathy Plus channel on Luke Ranieri's, I think, third, fourth, fifth channel. There is a little bit of an excerpt from an earlier draft of the first chapter. So I teach him from the first chapter. But yeah, I see what we can do if about getting some excerpts on screen. That'd be kind of fun. It's a story about a lovable bear in Anglo-Saxon England having adventures, and yeah, it gets pretty. I won't spoil it, but it gets pretty interesting towards the end. Let's see. And we have the Lucy approval on the backdrop. That's fantastic. Um, hey, Quayne, Emily, some other langs, some non-I etymologies. I mean, we could. The thing is, I don't know very much about them, so it'll be as much learning for me as for you, which I have no objection to. That's actually kind of fun. Um, but then where shall we start? And do we have good resources for the all the language families we're looking for? Um, Dayali, yes, I did see Simon Roper's film. And it was excellent. I love the way that he interprets Old English as a, in a casual spoken register. It is really, really cool. Really very inspirational. Um, yeah, Simon's very cool. What's up? Um, I don't know, new art. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff going on. The plants. We have plants. No, wait, there it is. Plants. I have a chair. Sometimes I go back there and I sit and I ponder and I think, what next? What next, I wonder. All right. Well, I think what we should do is jump in and start doing some etymologizing. I figure let's just wing it today. Let's come up with stuff as we go. If I'll be asking for a lot of suggestions from you, the chat. So if you want to see non-IE etymologies, let me know. If you can suggest a language or a word or something like that, maybe a nice easy way in might be to start with words that have been brought into English from non-Indo-European languages, and we can go from there. Um, so, oceanic languages. Okay, that'd be fun. All right, so I'm going to just do a little YouTube intro and then we'll jump in and we will get started. YouTube, welcome back. We've got a chill session planned today. We are going to do some more etymologies. And we're going to just take it easy and we're going to learn what we can learn with the help of Wiktionary and all the glorious resources of the internet. So, with all that said, let's scoot back to the side webcam where we have our notes on the left and we have Wiktionary on the right, and everything is blown up to a nice font size. So let's see. Emily Autumn says sauna. I'm going to collect some words. So if you have anything you'd like to look up, we can please say so now, and I'll make a little list, and then we'll go through and investigate. Oh, I see up here Tai Chi. That's a good one. So we're getting a little theme, which is loan words, non-Indo-European loan words. Hey, Sutton. Yes, you're here on stream this time. Welcome. All right. So while we wait for the chat donkey to deliver its load of messages, I'm going to start, and I'm going to start working on sauna. So, whoa. Okay, before I do, there are the messages. They all just came in there. Let me get some karaoke. Excellent. All caps. Let's keep it. I'm getting some Welsh. Now, my Welsh pronunciation is not up to scratch. I know the Y's are schwa or maybe not schwa in some circumstances. Ukulele, spa. Okay, yeah, we got some good stuff here. And Dayala's got, ooh. This is a Punjabi word for yesterday? Yesterday/tomorrow? That sounds interesting. I look forward to that. I don't know how to read Punjabi, so that'll be a fun challenge. Honcho. It doesn't have to be only English words. Anything interesting. Right. Ammazzare. From ship. Thank you. Yeah, you were mentioning that about the mace. Gaucho. Go. Okay. I think we are probably go as in the game. And cider. Okay, that's definitely going to be enough for us. So let's see what we can see. Okay, I guess for the purposes of clipping this into little sub-segments, I'll just say, let's start with sauna. All right, Wiktionary, help us out here. Most of these I do not know. A few of these I do, but let's let Wiktionary guide us. So, sauna. And we are going to be, I'm going to make a little heading here for sauna. And so English sauna from Finnish, I'm assuming sauna. Interesting. So this is an anglicized version that's a little bit closer to the Finnish, I'd assume. So now we have to go. Doublet of stack. Interesting. Okay, let's see what they mean by that. Oh, interesting. It's a Germanic loan. One of the Germanic loans in Finnish. Really early Germanic loan. Okay, so Finnish sauna from Proto-Finnic sakna. I'll put each language on a new line here. From early Proto-Germanic stakna, or which gives us later stakkas. And so that's why it's a doublet of stack. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so Proto-Germanic, stakna. And let's take a look at this, which later becomes stakkas. So this is a haystack. Interesting. Interesting that it seems that we have some doubts about the Wiktionary is giving us some doubts in the stakkas entry for this derivation, but in sakna, okay, here in the Proto-Finnic sakna entry, they say it's doubtful, but in the sauna entry, they don't mention the questionable nature, the disputed nature of the etymology. So maybe, let's put this as maybe. Maybe from haystack, from stakna. Interesting. So some source disputes this. What's the name of this source? Interesting. Okay, I don't know what it's referring to there, but that's fine. Leglos. Why is it called leglos? Does anyone understand why it's citing this as leglos? Don't say anything to do with that there, but okay. Fine. Here. It was going down here. Leglos. Leglos. Interesting. Okay, so it's a disputed etymology. But let's just keep on this stakna for a second. So stakna is going to give us stakkas in Proto-Germanic. So this is like pre-Proto-Germanic. Proto-Germanic stakkas. And that is going to give us stack from Old Norse. Interesting. Okay. So Old Norse stakkar. And then that's borrowed into. I feel like we need another. Maybe we can use that symbol for borrowing. Thank you for the. I don't see who wrote it. Ship. Thank you for the typo correction. It's hard sometimes because the spell checker doesn't like really any of these things, so it all sort of blurs. Okay. So then we have Middle English stuck, and English stack. Cool. All right. Mission accomplished there. So I'm assuming that the meaning would have come from a haystack. You presumably burn the hay to produce, or you take the hay, burn it, and then you have water above it, and that produces steam. Maybe, I don't know. All right. Let's see. Okay, there's some talk about the Welsh vowels. I'm just going to check this. So, Ivani. Yeah, if only English had let the word evolve, there could be 3 doublets of the word. Yeah. Yeah. But I think it would have been stack, never just the same. I don't think we would have had any different outcome, which is interesting and makes me think why are they so sure that it came from Old Norse? Is it because we don't have any reflexes in Old English? Let's check. See if they have something like stack. No. So this is what I would expect it to be in Old English, stack. But it does not exist, and that must be why they say it comes from Old Norse. So, who was saying about the triplets? Dayali, yes. So essentially, if it had come down through Old English, it would have looked the same as if it had come through Old Norse, I believe. That's my back of the napkin sound changes. Um, all right. And Jack, what about the Swovne as the alternative source? Actually, yeah, let's look at that. Where did that come from? I saw it somewhere. Cognate with Proto-Samic Swovne. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. Swovnye? Swovnye? I don't know what this is supposed to be. Palatalization, presumably. Swovnye. Pit in the snow. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to interpret this because we don't have a lot of information here. Certainly, this seems relevant. Cognate with Proto-Samic. So, in that case, would it have been borrowed from pre-Proto-Germanic into something also ancestral to the Proto-Samic and the Proto-Finnic language, and then yeah, I don't know. This is a bit thorny. It's a bit thorny. So we also have this piece of data. Which says cognate with proto. How did that? No, come back. You can't just delete things and not let me control Z. That's not fair. Okay, so Wiktionary says cognate with Proto-Samic Swovnye. I don't know why I keep wanting to make this accented. Swovnye. Pit in the snow. Cool. That's an interesting one. Still a bit mysterious. All right. Let's see what else we can do. Oh, I saw a suggestion up there to go back to Proto-Indo-European from Stakkas. And it seems that we have some disagreement. The Pokorny etymology is from the root steg, teg or steg. So something like this, meaning beam, and presumably with some kind of an O grade form. So we would have stog, and then a suffix nos. So it would be something like stognos or stognos, coming from steg beam. What else do we have from this? Tignum in Latin telum, and stake in English. Stako in Proto-Germanic. Interesting. Okay, so thank you. The N is palatal. Słownie. Słownie, it means a melted part or circle of snow from a bonfire. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Yes. Okay. Interesting. So I think I'll close this case at the moment, but look at all of the. I just want to show you all of the forms without the T. We have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So tego, which is going to give us textile and things like that, or protect. Interesting. Oh, that is fantastic. Thank you so much. That I'm just going to copy that word in. Is it Michal? Słowni, melted part of the snow from a bonfire. Wow, that's a really great word. Jack, regarding the voiced aspirate in stognos, I was taking the older etymology rather than Cronin's. So if we go back to the Stakkas page, we see the voiced aspirate in this reconstruction, but we don't have it in the Pokorny one. And I think this is a little more, well, it's older, but I think it's a little more conservative. All right. Sauna. I'm still curious about what's going on with the meaning, though. How do we go from stakkas, a pile of hay, to sauna? I mean, the Sami word seems to be a lot closer. And I'm still confused about the directionality here. Is it that the Proto-Finnic language got it from Germanic, and then there's a Proto-Samic form that's different in meaning, and then they somehow collided? Question. Anyway, let's close that book for now, though, and see. We may have to. Oh, Ship is saying that the pile of hay could be extended to mean a barn, and then maybe the barn is where you have the sauna, this kind of thing. That makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. And then the barn becomes a sauna, right? All right, so let's look at Tai Chi. This one is interesting. All right. So, Tai Chi, meaning the martial art form, comes from Mandarin. Tai Chi. So this is our first step. Mandarin, let's do our romanization. And onwards. This is a great word, and I have my little helper here too. So the definition that Wiktionary gives us is the absolute, the condition as it existed before the creation of the world. So let's use Wiktionary's definition. And let's keep going. So I think in the case of the martial art, we're dealing with this form. Taiji Chen, which is adding fist to the end. Too extreme. The absolute. I need this. All right, so let's delve in, I think, as Quaden is bidding us do, and let's look at the etymologies of the individual morphemes. So we have first tai. So let's just gloss this as absolute fist. And then we have, let's tab in so that we can do each individual morpheme. So tai. So this means something like excessive. Utmost, something like that. Lovely. Okay, so we have the first one, tai, meaning excessive or utmost. The second one, ji, which is, and I'm going to keep this up because we have further etymology to do on tai. So I should actually do that. Let's get another tab open to do ji. Oops, I don't know why it put up stiran. Whatever. Okay, so then ji, which gives us extreme. So with taiji, we get something like the utmost extreme, the highest, furthest point. And then for chen, we get, and let's go here. Zoom down, so we get fist. Okay, now let's see where these come from. Oh, we're on Chen already, so let's see. Etymology. So Shiso 2007 gives us Old Chinese gron. Gron, I'm assuming this means to bend, to curve. So, and it gives us this orthographic form. This orthographic form, which could, I suppose, be used in a lot of different ways, but to roll, something about rolling. So let's say it comes from Old Chinese, gron, bend, curve. Rising Rose, thank you. Must hydrate and stretch, always. All right. So fist comes from some idea of bending or curving the hand. It's as good a way as any to form the word for fist. And then let's look at D. Okay, so this gives us Proto-Sino-Tibetan kak, kak, Proto-Sino-Tibetan kak, meaning expensive at its peak. Ooh, so I wonder about that. So we have this this polysemy from our perspective, expensive or at its peak, and I wonder if that's if the idea is, oh, the price is at its peak, therefore it's expensive, or the quality of something is at its peak, therefore it's expensive. Like say agricultural produce. Oh, it's at its peak, so it must be expensive. I don't know. Maybe that's fanciful, but the etymologies from Proto-Sino-Tibetan are always so phonologically divergent. It's fun. Kak to T. And then, cool. And then, although what's interesting, I think, are some of these older, or these at least these obsolete meanings, some of which are more concrete, like a ridgepole, which, let's be honest, is a beam. I didn't particularly know what this was, but it's a beam along the ridge of a roof to which the rafters are attached. So that's interesting. So perhaps we had this more concrete meaning first. I don't know. Although from the etymology, it seems to have already been pretty abstract, even back in Proto-Sino-Tibetan. So who knows? And then let's finish it off with Thai. So no citation on this one, unfortunately, but we get Old Chinese dads, big. So it says here a superlative derivative of dads. I don't know exactly what the morphology is, because dads and dads are here exactly the same. So is it like a zero derived? Is it a zero derived superlative? I don't know. So the biggest. That makes sense. Utmost comes from da, or from the same word that gives us da, big. Cool. All right, so the biggest expensive bend. Dads. Super. Okay. Well, let's call that investigation complete. And let's put in a little cut for YouTube just so that we can keep the segments to a good length. So back here, thank you for joining us for some relaxing etymological fun. We will see you back here when we continue. Until next time. Great. Let me check the chat to see if there's anything I've missed. Oh, wonderful. Oh, we're talking about Sami languages. This is fantastic. Oh, I look forward to reviewing this chat later. Elijah, counting languages is almost as futile as counting soup. That's a good quote. All right. The utmost curve. If you go do Tai Chi, you can say, I'm just gonna go do the I'm just gonna do a big expensive bend. Yeah, I'll see you after the utmost curve. Fantastic. All right. So I am going to just hydrate and stretch, and then we will jump back in and do more. Okay, 1 second. It wasn't 1 second, it was more like 5, but nevertheless, we are back. Pascal, I am using, and apologies if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, I'm using Obsidian over on the left, so I'll just go back over here. This is Obsidian. It's like a note-taking piece of note-taking software, but it uses Markdown. It's kind of nice, and you can switch between the editing mode and the display mode, and it does all sorts of spiffy stuff. This is what I use for all my note-taking. I actually kind of like it better with the monospace font. I don't know. I think that's a bit nicer actually to look at than the supposedly more polished display mode. I could change the display mode to use the monospace font too. Maybe I should, but nevertheless, I have coder brain. I think I was working in tech for too long, and I just got used to seeing the monospace font, and now it makes me feel comfortable in some strange way. All right, so what is next? What is next? I think karaoke's next. So I'm going to go back here, and we'll introduce the new segment, and then we will be off. I'm going to wait for 1 second just in case more chat stuff comes in. Oh, your name has no pronunciation. Well, that means I can't really get it right, but it also means I can't truly get it any more wrong. I can't get it especially wrong. Fantastic. Yeah, Obsidian is great. All right, going into the next segment. Welcome back, YouTube. We are doing some etymological relaxation once again today. So let's jump in, and I think our first word is karaoke. And don't worry, I won't subject you to any karaoke today. What I think is funny, this is a Japanese loanword. We have a really interesting thing that's happened in English with it, where presumably karaoke, I don't speak Japanese, but that seems like a more reasonable approximation. But what's happened is we have this strange thing in English where ah gets borrowed as e before a vowel. I don't understand it totally. You can see it in a few other words, which I can't think of any examples off the top of my head. But it's very strange. It's like it's almost as if we had the great vowel shift, so it was kara, and then it became kare, and then before o, a became e, so kari. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on there. But nevertheless, let's jump into the etymology. All right. So, borrowed from Japanese, karaoke. So, English from Japanese. Which is a derivation of kara, empty. I can't read Japanese, so I have no idea what's going on here, but I know it's supposedly not hard to learn these, so the kana, so maybe I should do that at some point. But nevertheless, from kara, empty, and oke, a clipping of a loanword from English, orchestra. Oh, that's cool. Orkesutora. Okay, orkesutora. Orkesutora. Fun. Which comes from English. Oh, isn't it cool when a word goes from one language, a bunch of stuff happens to it, then it comes back? Not that many cases of this. One example that is a case of this is the word champion. And it's an exact example because what happened was is we get a Germanic word. Well, actually, no, it's actually more complicated than that. I won't go into it. But suffice to say that we get something going into let's just look at the word. I can't leave you hanging with that. So, okay, I have to have this up to show you. So we have campus, a field, going into Proto-Germanic or Proto-West Germanic camp, which gives us campio, so camp being a battlefield, campio, someone who fights on a battlefield. That goes back into Latin as campio, meaning a combatant in a duel, which goes into Old French, becomes champion, or something like that, and then goes into English again. So it's gone from Latin to Germanic to Romance to Germanic again. That's neat. All right. Anyway, that wasn't my point. Forget about that. Forget about that. Back to karaoke. So let's see what... Ooh, it has pitch accent too and all that cool stuff. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it? Wiktionary is great. So let's see. Kara. What does kara come from? Apparently it's cognate with kara, meaning shell, but we don't get the actual etymology on Wiktionary. And, you know, I can see that a shell is empty. Often when you find it, right? But we don't have much etymology. Sadly. Too bad. And then let's finish it up with orchestra. So Greek. Orchestra. Orchestra. Which comes from orcheomai, to dance. Dance. So orchestra is going to be a space on which the chorus danced. So and we have, so it's from this root, from this verb orcheomai, and then this suffix tra, which gives instrument nouns. Right, so this is like the tron suffix. You see it a lot in Indo-European languages. This tro kind of suffix that forms instrument nouns. Interesting. Orcheomai. So where does that come from? Everyone's confused. No one knows. But we have some very interesting suggestions here. So either from to mount, or a derivative erkomai, meaning to come or go, or a connection with orkis has been suggested. What is an etymologist to do? All right. So essentially, karaoke is shell dance. So you can call it that from now on. All right, let's take a look at this Welsh. And now I'm going to need help with the Welsh pronunciation because I saw different things in the chat, different ideas of the pronunciation. Maybe Wikipedia will help us. Okay. So Ivani, or Ivani, upwards. So this is Welsh. Ivani, upwards, coming from I fynydd, which comes from a mutated form of mynydd, mountain. So E, that first is a preposition, is that just in? Let's see. Oh dear. Oh, okay, good. We have a lot of different words in Welsh that are spelled this way. Okay, so this one triggers mutation, so good. 2 for that. Okay, so maybe something like 2 mountain. I fynydd. Okay. Welsh sounds so good. And okay, where does mynydd come from? From Proto-Celtic monios. So let's do each of these in turn. I and mynydd. So mynydd, mountain. We have some Middle Welsh, some Proto-Brythonic forms here, but I'll just go right back to the Proto-Celtic. Proto-Celtic monios. Let's see monios. Mountain. Which is cognate with, of course, mons in Latin. So this is going to come from PIE, men, to tower, to jut out, to stand out. This is not this same men. It's this men. So this is the men that gives us the second component of verbs like imineo, emineo, promineo, which give us the English words prominent, eminent, imminent. So what is something that's prominent? It's something that stands out in front of everything else. Eminent is something that stands out of everything else. So you have these great words. We have mons. We have munthas, like mouth. Comes from this. From Proto-Indo-European mento. Oh, okay. So I guess the idea is that the jaw is the mento, the thing that juts out from the face, and then from the jaw we get the word for mouth in Proto-Germanic. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. mentung, the chin. So mentung and mouth are really, really close cognates, just a different gender, neuter versus masculine. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. So anyway, the point is to jet out. And it looks like Proto-Italic also took this root in the O grade and used it. So instead of men, we have mon, mon, and then we have a little stem extender, montis, which gives us mons in Emily. Sorry, which gives us mons in Latin. I just saw what you wrote. The jaw is the mountain of the face. Cool. All right. Well, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then let's see what we get from the preposition. Yeah, this isn't going to help us because there are a trillion things spelled with just I. So here we have 2, 4, something like that. And where does this come from? This comes from Old Welsh the, from Proto-Celtic do, which gives us Irish do as well. Interesting. So this is, oops. So you press the wrong combination of keys and then everything jumps out at you. Okay, so do, and I'm assuming this means 2 or 4. Indeed it does. 2, 4. Except I made the vowel wrong. Do, which comes from the PIE PIE de do. So then, basically, Evani is de monte. It would be de monte in Latin. So we could, just if we go completely etymologically, down from the mountain, completely the opposite meaning. Interesting. See if there's anything else that we can. Yeah, so this de comes into Latin in a bunch of different ways. One of them is as this suffix that goes on to things like inde, unde. It's also present in Greek. This is this suffix that means towards something. In Proto-Germanic, it gives us not exactly, so it gives us ta, which we don't really maintain into modern English, but it's related to to, which gives us 2. Interesting. Jack, yeah, the nose. I think the nose is, I mean, I guess it depends on your nose. I think for me, it would definitely apply. But maybe if you have a gigantic sort of, they used to call Roger Ramjet chin. I don't know if that's reference is way, that reference was out of date when I was a kid. So just really, really strong jutting out chin. Maybe that's what we were dealing with here. Yes, Mynir in Old Norse, which now means the ridge on the top of the roof, aka the ridgepole, aka the Ji in Taiji. Whoa, do you see the connections? Do you see the connections? All right. That was a good one. All right, let's go onwards. Ukulele. UK. What's the pronounce? What's the spell? Yuku. Yeah, I had it right. I just typed it wrong. All right, English from Hawaiian. So, borrowed from Hawaiian, ukulele, from uku, flee, plus lele, jump. Oh, hello. This is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting. Let's go see what we can find. Okay, Wiktionary tells us this is a compound of uku, lele, literally jumping, flee, possibly in reference to the motion of the player's fingers. Interesting. All right, let's go to the individual morphemes. Uku. Where does this come from? And lele, where does this come from? Uku comes from Proto-Polynesian kutu. Hawaiian has some great sound changes. Kutu meaning louse or flee. From Proto-Malayo-Polynesian kutu, from Proto-Austronesian ku, and then a consonant. Oh, sorry. Kutu means louse. Uku means louse or flee. So this is Proto-Polynesian. And then Proto-Austronesian, we get this capital C, which is an affricate. Interesting. I would just assume that was a cover for a consonant we don't know about. But kutsu, Proto-Austronesian. Kutsu. Also louse. And we have some interesting suggestions here. Compare also Old Chinese. Something like tsu. Interesting. Jumping Flea by ABBA. That's fantastic. Okay. So kutsu, I guess I'll just write it like this, but stop popping up. I did not know that that's how you pronounce that C. Okay, then. But isn't this interesting? Why are they're very coy here. Compare also Old Chinese, tsu. I wonder what's going on there. I don't know. You draw your own conclusions. But that's interesting. Okay, then let's see lele. Look at all these tabs. This is crazy. All right, let's see lele. Don't need that anymore. lele, to jump, and a bunch of other kind of verbs of motion, but we'll just give it the gloss jump for now. Then from Proto-Polynesian lele, great, which means fly, run, leap, and from Proto-Oceanic rere, and we don't know what that meant, but we can only assume that it meant something similar. So we have, if we were to take ukulele back into Proto-Oceanic, we'd have kutsurere. Kutsurere. I kind of like that. I play the kutsurere. Whoa. Quain just wrote that Southern Chinese languages have something like katsat for cockroach, or katswat, which is eerily similar to kutsu. It is eerily similar to kutsu. And it also gave us some other potential cognates. Protokra, protohlai. Yeah, I think there's something going on here. There's something certainly going on here. That's wild. All right. Okay, very good. Ukulele, case closed. That's a good etymology. And let's see what we can do with spa. All right, spa. The term is derived from the Belgian town of Spa. Okay. There are various stories about the origin of the name. Oh, it's one of these ones. It's one of these ones. Spa. So from Belgian town Spa. A Belgian spring of iron-bearing water was called Espa, from the Walloon term for fountain. Although, is this term derived from the name of the resort? Is the resort derived from the name of the water? Some people say it's from spargere, to sprinkle. It doesn't look like we're going to get much help on this one. This is one of these classic etymology unknown. Although I think it's interesting, the spelling here is great. It just looks so strange. But yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you spell it that way? All right, so from Latin spargere, that doesn't sound super right to me. From Walloon Espa fountain. Let's see if we can learn a little bit more about that. Doesn't seem that we can. Dead end, unfortunately. Okay, Machi, I just saw what Mach wrote. Utmost cockroach is a colloquial term referring to the top ridge of some roof types. No, I got fooled by that. I was like, you're kidding. The utmost cockroach. Sorry that we don't have more for spa. But I am now very interested to first of all learn how to read this Punjabi, and second of all to do some etymology. All right, so I'm trying to remember my knowledge of Brahmic scripts. Is this something like? Okay, this is my total guess. Is it something like Valu? I could be completely wrong. I probably am. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, totally wrong. Totally wrong. This is it. Okay. Well, I got the L right, I guess. That's something. Okay, so this is Gul. Gul. Am I saying that reasonably? Gul. Which is romanized like this. That means yesterday or tomorrow. Let's see what we get. Inherited from a Prakrit. I don't know. How do you say this? Paishachi? Paisachi. Sorry, I'm not very well versed in this this part of the history. Paisachi Prakrit from Sanskrit Kalya. We should probably be able to find some kind of it's more falling tone than high tone. Interesting. So kal, something like that. Let's see what kalya gives us. Or kal. Sorry, I need to schwa that. Kalya in Sanskrit means whoa. Sorry, that was loud. Well, hail, vigorous, lots of things. And I'm assuming if this is cognate with hail in English, hal, Old English, healthy, doing well. That would surprise me that we have a K in Sanskrit where we have an H in Old English. Hal. And then wait a second. That's the adjective. Here's a noun. The noun looks more relevant, but it also looks to be related to the adjective. So wait, what? This is wild. Health, dawn, yesterday. Oh, daylight of rising. So kalos. Kalos esti. Yeah, Greek good. Wow. Okay, so, but what? So this reminds me of there's a saying apparently in Sanskrit every word means. I don't remember the full thing, and it's kind of the end of the quote is a little bit inappropriate, but suffice to say, every word means its own meaning and the opposite of its meaning, and then a bunch of other things that I won't repeat on stream. You can look up the quote about what every word in Sanskrit supposedly means if you're interested. So wait, Kalya means health, dawn. Okay, let's just see if it gives us anything. From Proto-Indo-European kal meaning handsome. I need to search this up. So let's look at it from the Germanic side. See if it gives us a better etymology there. Sometimes this is a bit of a Wiktionary trick. If you know that they're related words and you don't get the etymology you want from the one you're looking at, find a word that's related to it. Often it will have a better etymological trace. And I don't know why. I think it's because, the references they don't always agree. Sometimes two words that are definitely related give different etymologies, or one will give one story and one will give another. And it's like there's no central authority keeping them all in sync, which, that makes sense. Wiktionary is great. I have no complaints, but still something to be aware of. Yes, from Proto-West Germanic, Heil, Heilas, Kochilus. So this is, I'm assuming, the same root. But why does it's a shame that they don't have it's a shame they don't have a what's it called? An Indo-European entry for this koilos. You see, here it gives you not a completely different one, but a different etymology for the same word. So on hall, it gave us ko h2 ilos, and here it gives us koilos. I mean, they're not like the most different, but it's interesting or slightly annoying that they aren't the same. Nevertheless. Okay, so how do we get from that back to the... I wonder if the American Heritage Dictionary has... fine. Has anything about this. So... Okay. Kylo, yeah. Whole, uninjured, of good omen. Hail, whole, wholesome, hail, wassail, health, heal, all of that good jazz. Holy, halibut, holy halibut, Batman. All of those words having to do with holy come from that root as well. So, I wish we had a little bit more. But look, we have the meaning good omen. We have good tidings, agreeable or auspicious. And look, this is truth that about every Sanskrit word means itself and its opposite. We have hail sound. Anyway, not to get down a rabbit hole, but I'm having a distractibility moment. So how do we get yesterday from this? This is absolutely wild. I gotta see if this is possible to look up. All right. I don't know why it keeps doing that. At daybreak, in the morning, dawn, morning. I don't understand why it has so many meanings. Why do you have so many meanings? That's weird. So presumably this is going to be coming from what was our root in so here it gives it as kal. I don't know if that's actually because we had the H2 in hal in Old English, right? And that would give us an A. That would give us a long A in this case. So I don't know. Where is it? Kohilus. So maybe this is the... Well, we have different ideas. Something like this from Proto-Indo-European kal. And it's some meaning being like handsome, auspicious, healthy, who knows. That's wild. All right. So unfortunately, I don't think we can go too much farther on that one, but I really wish we could. The yesterday and tomorrow thing is interesting, though. Although it looks like there's some good stuff in the chat about those connections. Yeah, a lot of night yesterday, a lot of morning tomorrow connections. All right. Let's see. I think we've got one more in us before my brain stops working. Honcho. All right, honcho. This comes from Japanese. I had no idea this came from Japanese. I assumed that this came from Spanish. like there was some word that... You want to hear my weird theory about my folk theory about this word, because I'd never actually thought about it? I assumed that it came from Spanish honcho, which came from Latin functus, because that should work. But I guess that's not correct. All right, so let's see what the actual etymology is. So it comes from Japanese. Honcho, squad leader. Which comes from 19th century. Oh, it comes from the 19th century. Compare banjang in Mandarin. All right, so probably entered English during World War II. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see what we get for the... So this comes from Chinese orthographic borrowing. So let's use... That's meant to be an equals after it, but the thing automatically changes it. Doesn't matter. Same spelling. We'll give it the Mandarin reading, although I don't know since it's an orthographic borrowing, I don't exactly know what variety of Chinese it was from. In 1917, I don't know. Earlier we said 19th century, now we're saying 1917. I don't know what's going on. You see, this is what I mean. There's not always... not going to complain. All right, so then let's see what we've got here about the component parts. It means class monitor in modern Mandarin. That's really interesting. Yeah, class monitor, class president, prefect. That's really cool. All right, so then first of all, we've got a bimorphemic word, ban and zhang. Help me out here. And the first one means something like team, and zhang means something like leader. Although it's interesting because it has another reading with a different initial, different tone, which means long. So this zhang means to grow. So you can see the connection, right? Long, to grow long. So let's say grow, but also leader. So I guess the idea is if you have a word meaning long, you have a word meaning become long, therefore to grow, therefore to be old, therefore to be senior, therefore to be a leader. Could be. And where do these come from? Sorry, my little Chinese character helper is getting very excited. Very excited to see all these Chinese characters on the screen. All right, so what do we have for the etymology of ban? We have Proto-Sino-Tibetan bral or pral, to leave, to separate. Interesting. Interesting. So the idea is then that you are, I'm not sure exactly how, so maybe the team or the group is separated out from others, and that's why they're called bral. Could be, could be, could be. Interesting. So separate, and let's go back to Zhang. And where do we get? We should have some good etymologies from this. Okay. So there was an original root to make long, to stretch, trang. The pronunciation 1 is the endo-passive derivative. Be extended, be stretched. The pronunciation 2 is an endo-active derivative. Interesting, to grow. So these terms are kind of specific, I think, to a particular kind of analysis of Old Chinese. I find them a bit difficult. Endo-passive. Yeah, rare. A verb with the form of a passive voice construction but indicating the state of or an action towards something other than its subject. So being passive but not predicating about the subject. Okay. It's a bit beyond the ability of my brain to comprehend right now. But nevertheless, you can understand that they both come from this root, meaning to become long. So originally from trang, yeah, going into these this arcane terminology sort of defeats the purpose of etymology to relax too, to make long. And we'll say endo-active derivative. Superb. So a honcho is someone that is separated and then extended. Extended, you're stretched out into a leader. That's how it goes. Okay, we got part of the way through, but I think my brain is now ready to call it a day. So I'm going to just jump back to the full screen webcam and thank you all on YouTube for joining us. Come back. We'll certainly do this again. This is great fun, very relaxing, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. So until next time, I feel like I should have some sign off there, but I don't. Okay, and chat, thank you very much for joining us. This has been delightful. We won't be streaming next week, but we hope to be back on the week after that. So Monday is the stream day for a while coming up. So hopefully this is a good time for you. Otherwise you can catch it on the replay. But other than that, we will see you next time, or in the Discord and the comments and all that good jazz. All right. Until next time.